Contestants, as always, the contest comes to you in 5 rounds. The first round is a round for fundamental concepts. I have simple and direct questions that require simple and direct answers from you. If you answer your major question correctly, 3 points. If the question is incorrectly answered, it becomes available to the 2 remaining schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If right, 1 bonus point. If not, there is a penalty, 1 point. For questions which require calculations, you have 30 seconds to present your answer. If there are no calculations involved, you have 10 seconds to do so. All questions, all of them, are to be attempted once only. Best wishes to all 3 schools. I'm going to be starting with a preamble. For this first set of questions, you require about 10 seconds of time. And then I'll start with you, Kita. Are we all right? I hope everyone is fine. Good. All right, so this is the preamble to all schools. Preamble. The genetic code is a set of rules defining how the 4-letter code of DNA is translated into the 20-letter code of amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. When I get to your school, I will present you with a property of the genetic code. Please explain the property that I present to you. Are we all right? Or shall I repeat? Repeat. Okay. So the genetic code is a set of rules defining how the 4-letter code of DNA is translated into the 20-letter code of amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. I'm going to be presenting you with properties of the genetic code. When I present you with a property, please explain it. Are we fine now? Okay, so now, Keta, the genetic code is universal. Yes, Francisca?
The genetic code is universal in that it is present in all living organisms. Thus, it can be found in all living organisms. This set of rules apply to all living organisms. That makes it universal.
Okay. So the code can be applied to all living organisms, including even viruses. With the same preamble, Prempeh College, the genetic code is non-overlapping. Evans?
The genetic code is non-overlapping, and this means that the genetic code is read in a set of traits such that one member of a pair of codon cannot be found in the next codon. So it is read in a set of traits, and one member of a particular triplet of bases cannot be found in the next triplet of bases.
Yes. Presbyterian boys, with the same preamble. The genetic code has polarity. Otumfo, is that hand up? Go ahead.
This means that the genetic code is hydrophilic in nature, hence giving it polar ends.
That's incorrect. I'm going to let you answer, but next time you ring, when I haven't declared, I'll start deducting. Okay? I hope it's clear. Good. So go ahead.
The genetic code has polarity, and this is because the genetic code is read in a specific direction, and thus if the genetic code is read in a different direction, it would code for a different set or sequence of amino acids, and ultimately affecting the protein structure. So when reading the genetic code, we make sure we read it in a specific direction.
Keta. What intermolecular forces are present among PBr3 molecules and why? Bright.
Okay, the intermolecular forces is the dipole-dipole forces. This is because the P2Br bonds in PBr3 are all polar, and then since the PBr3 molecule is unsymmetrical, the bond's polarities do not cancel out, hence giving it a net dipole moment, hence making it a polar compound. And also due to the electronegativity difference between phosphorus and then bromine.
2 out of 3. Yes, it's dipole-dipole, and yes, there's a net dipole moment which you mentioned, but why? It's because of the shape. You have a trigonal pyramidal shape, and that is why. Okay? Prempeh College. What type of intermolecular forces will the molecules of chloroethene possess and why? Yes, Eden.
The molecules of chloroethene would experience dipole-dipole forces, and this is because the C single bond Cl bond in chloroethene is highly electronegative. This high electronegative difference between the bonding atoms in that bond C and Cl creates a higher dipole moment. This higher dipole moment makes the resulting molecule polar and thus able to associate with its neighboring molecule via dipole-dipole forces.
I will give you one. Yes, it's dipole-dipole, but your explanation, there's something about your explanation. Is the pi cloud of the ClCH double bond CH2 molecules. This is polarized by the presence of the chlorine atom, okay? And so the molecules will possess a net dipole. Okay, so I needed you to explain how the pi cloud was involved in all of this, being polarized. Okay? Okay. All right. Presbyterian boys, what type of intermolecular forces will be present among the molecules of HCl, and why that type of force? Is that hand up, Otunfo? Go ahead.
The intermolecular forces is dipole-dipole forces. And this is because the electronegativity difference between the hydrogen atom and the chlorine atom is relatively large. And since it's relatively large, and since the electronegativity difference is relatively large, it will make the compound itself polar, hence giving it a net dipole moment.
Yes.
Hence the dipole.
So you see, 3 different cases of dipole-dipole, but the explanations are different, right? Isn't that interesting? Good. Next set, 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Find the values of the constants A and B such that the quadratic inequality has the given solution set. I'm going to repeat for you. Find the values of the constants A and B such that the quadratic inequality has the given solution set. So, Keta, ax squared plus bx plus 2 is greater than 0 has solution set, which is a set of x such that -1 less than x less than 2. Yes, Francisca.
Which one should I go? A is
Okay, go ahead. That's incorrect. The right answer, A is -1, yes, and B is 1, positive. Can you do something about the sound? All right. Prempeh College, with the same preamble. Ax squared plus bx plus 6 is less than 0 has solution set, the set of x such that x is less than -3 or x is greater than 2. Yes, Eden?
A equals -1 and B equals -1.
You are right. Presbyterian boys, your major question. with the same preamble. Ax squared plus bx plus 2 is greater than 0 has solution set. The set of x such that negative half is less than x is less than 2. Otumfo.
A is negative 2 and B is negative 3.
No. But I'm giving you 2 out of 3. A is negative 2 and B is positive 3. Next set, 10 seconds each. Keta, name the particle emitted by a nuclide that decays by electron capture. Right?
Electron neutrino.
Yes. Prempeh College. Name the particle emitted in the decay of a nuclide by internal conversion. Evans?
A gamma ray photon.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. It's an atomic electron. Presbyterian boys, name the fundamental force that is responsible for beta decay processes. Otumfo.
The weak nuclear force.
Okay. Next set, 10 seconds. Keta. Explain the means by which malarial parasites can be transmitted from an infected person to a healthy person. Yes, Francisca.
Okay. The plasmodium is responsible for malaria, and when the female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, it picks up the gametocytes of this plasmodium parasite, and inside it, the sexual stage of the plasmodium parasites occurs, leading to the production of the trophozoites. And these trophozoites are being transmitted from the infected person to the healthy person. When the female Anopheles mosquito bites a healthy person, introducing the trophozoites inside the person.
anti-malarial drugs kill Plasmodium parasites in the blood, but may not kill all the parasites. Why? Eden?
Okay, this is because the anti-malaria drugs, as they are used for a long period of time, these parasites develop resistance against the drugs, and that by the process of natural selections, find means by which they can prevent or act against being killed by this anti-malaria drug. So
that's incorrect. For bonus. Remember that they are killing the parasites in the blood, so that cannot be. That the same parasites are resistant and yet they can be killed in the blood. The reason is that the drugs do not kill the parasites that are inside the liver. When they are in the liver, they are protected from the effects of the drug. Okay? Presbyterian boys, why was the use of DDT insecticide not successful in eradicating malaria? Otumfo.
So this is because the DDT itself is toxic to the human. So when the DDT is used as an insecticide and when the human is exposed to the DDT, it can lead to further damage of the systems of the human, since the DDT itself is toxic to the human.
I'm not accepting that for a bonus. Of course, DDT is toxic, but that's not the reason. DDT is toxic, all right, but that's not the reason. The reason is that the mosquitoes became resistant to the DDT insecticide. Okay. Next set, 10 seconds. Keta. Hemoglobin is a red compound whose large molecule is made up of a protein portion, the globin, and a non-protein portion, the heme. The heme is a complex comprising iron 2 and 4 unsaturated nitrogen heterocycles linked together. What could be the source of the red color of hemoglobin? Yes, Francisca?
The red color of the hemoglobin is due to the heme parts of the hemoglobin. That's the one containing the iron 2, which forms a complex with the cyanide to form iron 2 cyanide, and this gives the red color.
No, that's incorrect. For a bonus. Okay, so listen carefully. It cannot be iron 2. I'm sure you know what colors iron 2 gives, and so it cannot be the iron 2. So the color must be due to the presence of the 4 unsaturated nitrogen heterocycles, or the porphyrin ring. Okay? That is where the color red is coming from. All right, so now you know why the blood is red. Good. Now, Prempeh College. Palm oil is made up of esters of palmitic, also known as hexadecanoic acid, and stearic, also known as octadecanoic acid. Both of them colorless compounds. So why is palm oil red? Eden?
Okay. Palm oil is red because the components of the palm oil, that's the palmitic acid and the stearic acid, are able to rotate the plane of polarized light, said that upon rotation of the polarized light, they shift the light to regions having higher wavelength or regions having lower frequencies, corresponding to the red portion.
Oh, no. For a bonus. Okay, so listen carefully, all of you. Eating palm oil every day and not wondering why it's red. You should be curious. Okay, so this is why palm oil is red. Palm oil contains carotenes, which are originally present in the fruit, the palm fruit. It has carotenes. When you extract the oil, the carotenes are also extracted along with the oil and gives it the red color. Isn't that interesting? Yes. All right, Presbyterian boys. Ant hills are common in Ghana, and especially on my campus at University of Ghana, plenty of ant hills. Almost all of them have the brick red color. What could be the source of the brick red color of these ant hills? Yes, Deborah.
This is because the ant hills are made of soil, and this soil could contain iron-containing compounds, which would be used in the making of the ant hill, giving it its red color because of the red color that iron 3 plus imparts to its compounds.
2 out of 3. I wanted you to mention the specific compound. Okay, so yes, it is iron 3. It is iron 3 that gives that the color, but it's the oxide, iron 3 oxide. Okay, I'm happy you like this set of questions on red. As you can see, the color of the day is red. All right. Next set, 30 seconds with a preamble. This is the preamble. Find the common ratio R of an exponential sequence whose first 3 terms are given by. Did you get your preamble? Again. Or you are fine? No response means you are fine. Okay, so Kita, x plus 3, x minus 1, and x minus 3. Francisca?
The common ratio is 1/2.
Yes. Trenta College. With the same preamble. X minus 2, x plus 1, and x plus 3. Yes, Eden.
The common ratio is 2:3.
You are right. With the same preamble, x plus 1, x plus 3, and x plus 4. Deborah.
The common ratio is 1/2.
Yes. Next set, 30 seconds. I have a preamble to all schools. In an excited hydrogen let me start again. An excited hydrogen atom is slightly heavier than a hydrogen atom in its ground state. Find the mass difference between a hydrogen atom in the states with the given principal quantum numbers. In other words, when I get to you, I will give you a pair of principal quantum numbers. And you have to note that an excited hydrogen atom is slightly heavier than a hydrogen atom in its ground state. So find the mass difference between a hydrogen atom in the states that I give you. I hope it's clear. All right, so Keta, n is equal to 5 and n is equal to 9. Bright?
Significantly, the change in mass is significant, yes. 6.6 times 10 to the power negative 37 kilograms.
No. For bonus. I'm going to hold on to your answer. I'll tell you later, all right? Okay. Prempeh College with the same preamble. N is equal to 2 and n is equal to 5. Eden?
Right, be 5.1 by 10 to the power negative 36 kilograms.
You're right. With the same preamble. N is equal to 1 and n is equal to 2. Otumfuo.
1.81. I remember this answer. 1.81 times 10 to the power negative 35 kilograms.
Yes, go ahead.
1.8 times 10 to the power negative 35 kilograms.
Yes. All right, for you. For you, your answer, you gave me 6.6. It should actually have been 6.7 times 10 to the power negative 37 kilogram. Rounding off error. Okay? Okay, so that's why. And then for you, you wanted to give me 3 significant figures. No problem, except that the third place, the third significant figure, it should have been 1.82, not 81, times 10 raised to the power negative 35. And so I was accepting either 2 significant figures or 3 significant figures, but each of them had to be right. All right, next set 10 seconds. Please listen carefully, Keta. How do habitat loss and fragmentation lead to loss of biodiversity? Yes, Francisca.
Habitat loss occurs when species leave their natural home to different places, either by migration or as a result of some natural disasters. They lose their habitat, and when a group of species lose their habitat, it decreases the genetic constitution. That's the biodiversity in the area decreases, since the variety of species in that area will decrease, since some species or group of organisms have left that area or are no longer at the place they used to be. And also fragmentation will decrease the variety of species in a particular habitat, as it also reduces
I am not
the variety.
accepting it for a bonus. Okay. All right, so habitat loss and fragmentation will result in the breaking up of the habitat into small pieces. This affects the migratory movement of animals, and also it will decrease the genetic exchange between populations. Okay, and that is what leads to the decline in the biodiversity. Okay. Prempeh College. How can the extinction of one species lead to the extinction of another species? Yes, Eden.
Okay. This is because the organisms in an ecosystem interact with each other, and some of these organisms rely on other organisms for food. So, supposing organisms higher up in the trophic levels who rely on organisms lower in the trophic level or the energy pyramids or ecological pyramids for their food, if the organisms lower in these energy pyramids or ecological pyramids become extinct, it becomes difficult for the organisms higher up to obtain food, and thus leads to their extinction, as the initially ones which they rely on food or resources have become extinct.
2 out of 3. It's the insistence of food that I have a problem with. It's not just food. It's not just food. Okay, so in a native habitat, one species is connected to the other in an intricate network. It may not necessarily be linear, like one depending directly for food. No, in an intricate network, okay? So if one goes extinct, the other species will also go extinct. And it's dependent on the obligatory interactions, right? So if you must necessarily depend on someone there, and that person is no longer there, then you also are at risk of going extinct. And the typical example I have here is this. So listen to my example. The extinction of a host will cause the extinction of parasites. So in this case, you see, it's not food. It's where it actually lives. You see, so it's a broader thing than what you were telling me. All right. Presbyterian boys, how do exotic or invasive alien species affect biodiversity? Yes, Deborah.
Exotic species reduce biodiversity. And this is because when they enter a new habitat, they have adaptations which can lead to the extinction or driving out of other organisms in that habitat due to competition for the same resources.
2. Yeah, competition is part of it. But what happens is that they actually reproduce very rapidly because they don't have any local enemies, right? When they enter that new environment, they don't have local enemies. So it's not a matter of just bringing their adaptations. They also don't have any enemies. So they are able to outcompete. That's the part you mentioned. They are able to outcompete the native species for food, water, space, and so they are able to spread unchecked. And that is how they do it. All right. Next set, 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Each school will be given a chemical equation, which may be a redox or a disproportionation to balance. So I'm going to give you an equation. Please balance it. A chemical equation. All right. Keta. P4 plus NaOH plus H2O going to NaH2PO2 plus pH3. Bright.
Okay, you have the balanced equation to be.
Go ahead.
P4 plus 3NaOH plus 3H2O reacting to give pH3 plus 3NaH2PO2.
You're right. Prempeh College. same preamble. K2MnO4 plus H2O going to MnO2 plus KMnO4 plus KOH. Eden.
So the balance equation is given by,
Please speak up.
the balance equation is given by 3K2MnO4 plus 3H2O moving into MnO2 plus 2KMnO4 plus 4KOH.
That's incorrect.
Which one?
Yes, Deborah.
4K2 MnO4 plus 3H2O going to 2MnO2 plus
No.
2.
You've realized your problem. You've realized it. The right answer is 3K2MnO4 plus 2H2O, not 3H2O. 2H2O going to MnO2 plus 2KMnO4 plus 4KOH. Presbyterian boys with the same preamble. MnSO4 plus PbO2 plus H2SO4 going to HMnO4 plus PbSO4 plus H2O. Is that hand up, Deborah? Please go ahead.
2MnSO4 plus 5PbO2 plus 4H2SO4 going to 2HMnO4 plus 5PbSO4 plus 8H2O.
No. Go ahead.
2MnSO4 plus 5PbO2 plus 3H2SO4 going into 2HMnO4 plus 5PbSO4 plus 2H2O.
Yes. 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble to all schools. Find the amount invested at each rate of interest if a man invests. Find the amount invested at each rate of interest if a man invests. All right, so Keta, 60,000 Ghana cedis, partly at 9% and the remainder at 6%, and receives a total interest of 4,800 Ghana cedis at the end of the year. Yeah, go ahead. Evans.
The total amount invested at 6% is 1,300.6 cedis, and the amount invested at 9% is 730.6 cedis.
That's incorrect. I'm holding on to my answer. I'll tell you later. But with the same preamble, your major question. 100,000, partly at 10% and the remainder at 15%, and receives a total interest of 11,500 Ghana cedis at the end of the year. Eden.
Okay. So you have it to be 1,945 Ghana cedis.
Finish.
1,145 Ghana cedis and 1,915,000 Ghana cedis.
No, that's incorrect. Have I won them already? No. Okay, I'll let you answer, but you have a stern warning next time I start deducting. Go.
70,000 cedis was invested at 10% and 30,000 cedis was invested at 15%.
Yes. With the same preamble. $40,000 Ghana cedis, partly at 12% and the remainder at 8%, and receives a total interest of 4,000 Ghana cedis at the end of the year. Otumfo.
For the 12%, it is 20,000 Ghana cedis. And for the 8%, it is 20,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes. So, Keta, for yours, the right answer was 40,000 Ghana cedis at 9% and 20,000 Ghana cedis at 6%. Last set of questions for the round. 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Total charge Q is uniformly distributed throughout the volume of a sphere of radius r. Please, did you get your preamble? No response means yes. So, Keta, what is the electric potential at distance r/4 from the center of the sphere in SI units? Yes, Bright.
I have a fraction with numerator Q and then denominator R pi epsilon naught, and then the all in the unit is volts, and then the unit is volts.
No, for both. Okay. Go ahead.
Q
And speak up for me, please. It's very hard to hear.
over 16 pi epsilon naught r. All of that in volts.
I'm not accepting it. I'm holding on to the answer. I'll hold on to the answer. All right, Prempeh College, with the same preamble. What is the electric potential at the center of the sphere in SI units? Yes, Eden?
0 volts.
That's incorrect for a bonus. Again, I hold on to the answer. Presbyterian boys with the same preamble. What is the electric potential at distance r/2 from the center of the sphere in SI units? Otunfo.
We have. Should I go for this one? This or this? We have K all over 4r squared in volts per meter.
I'm not accepting it. All right. So, for this set of questions, Keta, your answer was 47Q over 128 pi epsilon naught R. Of course, epsilon naught is the vacuum permittivity or the permittivity of free space. Okay? For you, Prempeh College, your answer is 3Q over the expression 8 pi epsilon naught R. And then for you, Presbyterian boys, it's 11Q over the expression 32 pi epsilon naught R. With that, we've come to the end of the first round.
Alande, make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy, busy, busy.